once taken a kid to my bed. They have come to my bed, and I am no one to kick them out. If they hug me and I find them playing with my cock, I say, good on you, I play with theirs. They'll do it now and with great pleasure. With 300 or 400 boys who had sex with me from 8 and 10 and 12, 100% have run into my bed, jumped in without my mentioning it, and asked for sex. I have never asked for it. All boys want a lover.
That was Dr. Daniel Gajdusek, who worked for the NIH and won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1976, who lived in Boston's Children's Hospital for 9 years. 9 years he was allowed to live amongst children. He also was allowed to adopt 57 children. Ended up only spending 1 year in prison when this predator admittedly took advantage of 300 to 400 boys between the ages of 8 to 12. Let's check out what Boston Children's Hospital's up to now.
Gender-affirming hysterectomy is very similar to most hysterectomies that occur. A hysterectomy itself is the removal of the uterus, the cervix, which is the opening of the uterus, and the fallopian tubes, which are attached to the sides of the uterus. Some gender-affirming hysterectomies will also include the removal of the ovaries.
So Boston Children's Hospital went from having a doctor living amongst children for 9 years that was preying on children sexually, to removing children's body parts.
What I want to tell you is that it's all about the children. I'm working on a full-part series on child trafficking. And when you start to go into this very dark world of trafficking, you learn about a lot of things that many people don't want to accept, and many people don't want to face, and many people don't want to believe is true. But my job as a journalist is to follow the facts regardless of where they take me. What has happened to all of these missing children? How come hundreds of thousands of children go missing every year? How come they go missing in child protective services and in their custody? How come so many of the kids, 70-80% of the kids that end up in sex trafficking have been through the foster care system? This is not okay. You can read across the media, everyone from NBC to Politico to USA Today to everyone you can think of in mainstream media. They're fine doing articles about how the blood of young people is the secret to anti-aging.
What if you could reverse the aging process simply by getting a blood transfusion?
That's what a new company called Ambrosia claims to do, and they just opened a new facility right here in the Houston area.
Rekha Mudaraj spoke to the founder to find out how young blood works.
Isn't there a saying that says only the good die young? Why is it that only the good die young? What we don't do as journalists is we allow people to make these kind of statements and to write these articles, and they put in all the science and the data, and they say, isn't this amazing, right? It's the blood of young people, but we don't ask, how do you get the blood of young people?
Never once.
This is sick, absolutely. And I'm going to read a lot of messages that's going to write down, make a statement of this as being sick. But who's really the sick person? The organic species of this planet that is allowing free access to our children? Children are being abused on this planet at an alarming rate. And we are so selfish and so self-centered and so egotistical as adults that we want to sit here and try to talk down on other brothers and sisters that haven't reached the pinnacle of success in the world that other brothers and sisters or their oppressor have reached. This is, this is serious. And to sit there and this type of activity, there are countless stories of these type of things going on. You got Charles, what's his name? Charles, wow, I can't even think of his name. Give me a second. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. I had a brain freeze. I knew it was Charles, but I couldn't think exactly what it was. It's Dr. Alfred Charles Kinsey. And this has been going on for quite some time for my people. And you think because of a person's occupation that determines their character and their morals, that makes up their morals, value, and the character of that person, when that's actually far from the case. They use these occupations to continue out their sadistic, dark energy on innocent children. So this dude here, Dr. Alfred Charles Kinsey, was an American biologist, professor of etymology and zoology and sexology. In 1947, he founded the Institute for Sex Research at Indiana University, which is now known as the Kinsey Institute at Indiana University today. Now, guess what? He stated a baby as young as 3 to 6 weeks old can experience an orgasm. Out of all things to study in medical, why would that be why would that be something that would be so crucial or at the top of the line of your list to find out whether a child can have an orgasm at 3 to 6 weeks old? That's sick. That's some crazy sick shit. You don't want to be a person that prevent neurodegenerative disease. You don't want to be a person that prevent cancer or decay of the cartilage in the body. You don't want to learn that. You want to learn and find out the youngest age that a child can experience an orgasm, which is sick. And we're even more sicker to allow free access to our children and think that there is someone that is coming down here to save us from the darkness that we are capitulating to. That's exactly what's happening. And we think someone is going to save us. You have the slightest idea. Slightest idea. This is disgusting. This is disgraceful. And it's a countless. And you know the sad thing about it is that you have our own people that so-called are scholars, educated, and they support these type of people or make excuses for their behavior. Oh, that's one person. That's not all of them. One person doing it, how many other people knew he was doing it and said absolutely nothing? That's the point. It is what it is. Abundance and gratitude to all.